1-0 disadvantage. Looks like we're ready to get underway. Map 2, Gambit's response. Let's see if their rebuttal is as fierce as their dismantling on Ancient.
Yeah, it feels like they're going to have to do it the hard way now. But we get this one underway, and looks like we're going to have a bunch of Kevlar coming out. Nafany the only one to buy util here. There's no P250 in the mix for this one. And Brokey, the lone survivor, or the lone defender, as it were, over towards A early, just playing for that info. 1x bet odds at the top of your screen here, and, well, still favouring Gambit, but FaZe have really clawed those odds back.
Smoke is in the air already. They're going to have to try and push upon it, and Brokey stands and delivers. Looking for a second head, and he is before Silence. Quickly responds, though. We see Hobbit struggling to pick up his weapon, but he's managed to pick up a 3v3, catching that quick rotation from the CTs. Will they anticipate Olof already replacing that dead man?
I said no P250. I tell a lie. Shiro has one. Hobbit still having this connector position is huge, but Olof's position, it could really unravel all of this. He's going to hear the sound cues. Hobbit might have to clear his corners. He does, but Olof profits here. Now it's a 2-1-3, and Carrigan's going to get some info over towards Long. Steps on out, takes a lot of damage here. Pressure now on this A site. Or is it? Back and forth, Gambit go. There is no rush for this one. They know that Olof was down towards that connector position. They can just go and try and isolate him, but being poked and prodded more so. Rain spotted them up.
Rain used to be a big conversation topic about not only his performance on this map, but this particular position, this part of the map used to be his domain. It's not going to be tested just yet. Instead, he's going to clear it out, call it, completely quits, and start his rotate back to B.
Rain could actually be the difference maker here if he starts going down connected. Now that he's clearing it out and heading back towards A, maybe not so much. Olof's playing retake over towards Graffiti. So they should be able to get the bomb down here, Gambit. They're keeping this one silent, and the range of the fight, sure, the USP, it's good, but at least the P250 of Shiro to contend.
Olof happy to tuck in, as you said, playing for the retake. He'll wait for the other opportunities. I say that, he does already start taking contact. At least confirms and keeps their feet planted. They're on notice already, and Rain starts his crawl. Yet to find a head. Tough one. Oh, and Nafany puts his head in the vice. Shiro, 3 to find. Carrigan, first victim. More required. They partner up. It could be difficult to line them up, and they're just whittled away at. Couldn't find their heads. It's all body shots, and the Kevlar and the Olofmeister convert.
Oof, when they get that done there, they can even pick up that diffuse kit off Carrigan's body. So a pistol round for FaZe, and that's a big one to win here. They get to continue that momentum they just had from Ancient. A pistol is a great way to do that, and now if you can withstand the likely force buy here from Gambit in round number 2, you can start to really pile on these rounds.
Gets 2 here. Like, Gambit had a very different game plan until Brokey happened. Admittedly, they clawed it back nicely. You saw how quickly Hobbit and Shiro combined for the 3v3 equalizer. But yeah, I was getting a bit sketchy, just dancing around his crosshair just in the nick of time. Olof in a 1v1 as the dust settled, but he pulled it across the line, and it is that force, as you were discussing.
Shiro was starting to heat up on the AK towards the tail end of Ancient there. Felt like he had to, felt like somebody needed to, and he was the man with the AK starting to blow some heads off. So he's wielding one here. Looks like this is a transitional boost that they're setting up right there. So when they hear a sound cue, Olof will likely mount the head. And
safe assumption that there's not going to be triple nading on this force buy. You know that's not going to be a priority in the investment, so you can just stick around or at least look for the info. He confirms nothing water for now. Door swings open, so lots of sound cues implying presence on that B site. A 3-2 split of FaZe's defense.
They leered on in for a moment there, and here they go again, the second bite of the cherry.
Still starts to drop in. Olof, nice little off angle, may have a chance. Axal's too quick. M4V Galil, and he's not done yet. Double into the site from Axal. Shiro keeps Twists honest as well. Is there anything more for FaZe to say about this one? You can see they might have to cut their losses. Rain and Brokey holding on to what they have and looking to hopefully take a couple of extra bodies down from Gambit on the way out.
Yeah, it looks like we got some force buy wars here on the cards, right? So the fact that they are holding on to these guns and not trying to get stuck in for the retake, it is the smarter of the two. And they will get 1,400 into their bank balance to reinvest with next round. Now, it's not a lot of money to be working with. But with the FAMAS, with the MP9, if they can ply them up close and personal, can keep Gambit on notice. Hobbit here searching, and he might even find Brokey. This all comes down to the timing here. Both players, well, head on. Hobbit gets the kill, survives, and that's actually a very, very big frag to find because now moving into the next round, it is just the MP9. So FaZe not going to have that rifle to bring on through. Bomb goes off, and now we're tied at 1-1.
And just Gambit's management of the money, you know, throughout their rise to power has always been something that just a nice quirk. You know, seeing some of the clips like Nafany recovering the AK that was thrown out of the map, them being very diligent about recovering weapons, guarding weapons, throwing them out. Like they will make it, losing like is one thing, but they'll make the loss hurt as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, right, is with Gambit, even when we do see them going for those saves, there's always a method to the madness. There's always some little detail. You can always find the logic in what they're doing. And now we're going to see them spread on out against this force bite of FaZe. Quite a heavy B lean early. Axel to deal with that. You'll see a lot of this from Axel throughout. Rain has the tall task of dealing with the onslaught coming over towards A. Right now he's in the upper bathrooms with that MP9. Enters Nafany and Shiro as a wolf pack, trawling together over towards Long. And now Hobbit and Axel are actually starting to join the party. So this is looking quite clear like they want to search out with the majority of their numbers over towards A.
I mean, when you know you're up against pistols, why not take the long duels?
Ooh, okay, Rain's gone down there. That was bathrooms. He was just pivoting back. Now, obviously, with the MP9, not the best weapon for the job. It's a big frag to find, and it almost feels like they have an open runway here into the site, but they're crossing their T's, they're dotting their I's. Utility being used here just to deal with any pushes, and this is one of the most scary parts of the map as you're coming through the bathrooms. Now, the rotation is coming from FaZe. Carrigan's taken space over towards Sewer. Brokey, Twist, and Olaf are about to park himself on the side. Olaf does have a smoke here, so he can make this one a little bit janky.
If they can make this hurt at all. Don't forget there's some Kevlar behind these pistols. They will pack a punch. Oh, they heard him dancing in the smoke. Olaf looking to deny and evaded the spray for now, so perhaps there's still some legs to this for FaZe. Axel denies again, puts his name in the feed, and very hesitant. They don't want to plant until that smoke fades, but it looks like the digits are being punched. And now, with the backs turned, Olaf Meister's Deagle's good for one. Just the one. Twist's neutralized as well. And Gambit take that without too much sweat on the brow.
Want to note a good start here for Axel, right? This guy here can be an absolute monster. I don't want to undersell him at all. So if he's showing up in a big way early, really keep your eyes to see how activated he can be. He's an individual who will do his job to an absolute T. He'll do it perfectly, but then you'll still see him having this outrageous impact in rounds for Gambit. It almost doesn't make any sense. Now mopped up that mess there. Olaf sprung his trap. That AK recovered, and well, here we go again. Now it will just be the full USP eco here for FaZe. Not even a flash to boast. As really for Gambit right now, you want to be keeping at least 4 of your members alive here. Sure, one might go down to the buzzards as the USP's pushing. But the rest, you want to kind of mop that up. Now action on Axel here. Oh, he's spamming. A lot of bullets for this.
No bullets! 7 in the Deagle, does pull it out, but weapon recovered, and yeah, not sure they'll take the opportunity or even spot it out.
It's actually quite lucky that they didn't push further forward. Hobbit may have been in a lot of action here. Now we can see that there's nobody around the corner. FaZe have evacuated all the way back towards that A site, even back in towards B.
Look what that, never mind Galil, the smoke has enabled. Carrigan's going to play a jiggle smoke defense. Now, it does mean they can stack 3 towards the other bomb site. However, question of if they respect it when Carrigan drops it.
Yeah, Inters is just going out here clearing the upper bathrooms. Now, there's a lot of pressure on Inters, especially if Olaf continues to search forward. It looks like he's paused out for now. But this is all on Carrigan. The smoke, will it buy enough time for the rotation? Will Gambit respect it? Because if they go late back in towards A, it will be into the stack.
Ooh, get it out, son. They're coming. Oh, and Hobbit does not respect it at all. Bounces his head off the pipe, and he's got himself an open sight.
Problem solved now. It is just these USPs. They should mop this up any moment. Oh, jumping out of heaven there, Rain. Trying to make the best of a bad situation. It will just be Olaf, the final man alive.
But, you know, if you wanted more evidence that even in the ecos, Counter-Strike rounds got longer, look how long that eco took. You know, just out of interest of seeing, you know, how diligent they had to be. They can never mind lose USP rounds. We've seen it happen in the playoffs, never mind early in the group stage.
It happened to VP just before, right? When we were watching their series, I think it was a Dust 2 B rush that they pulled off there, and it was like almost the full USPs of Astralis just melted them. So I said they wanted to keep 4 alive. It looks like they're going to get away with that unless Olaf swings open this door and gets a couple of dinks nice and quickly. Going to hear the footsteps. His moment is now. Springs the trap. Shiro as quick as you like. Head gets lopped off. Olaf goes down, and the third posted on the board here for Gambit. Now, the only weapon that they lost in that round was a MAC-10 because Nafany got to upgrade into that Galil. So as far as the finances are concerned, things are looking great. And Shiro's even going to get out the AWP. Brokey's done the same for the defensive phase, but this is where we start getting into the business rounds here. We've dealt with the force by wars. We've dealt with the ecos. Now comes the rifle rounds. And remember Ancient, that's where the individuals of FaZe, every time members of Gambit walked on in, they just mowed them down. It looked way too easy. Let's see if they can replicate.
A touch of aggression out of Rain early to try and get info about Fountain. Nothing to report. Hobbit tucked in safe. For any of the initial glances down Monster. Brokey going for that glass cannon, so watch yourself. Watch yourself. Who is that? Hofmeister dicing with death.
Set up here, very, very heavy Monster from FaZe, and this is something that Gambit like to do on their CT sides as well. It's not easy to break.
They do have mollies for it. Hobbit's just going looking, and Twist receives him with a smile and some hot lead. Oh, elbow spotted. Olof will have to be a dangerous game. It's Brokey's AWP again. This time strikes onto Axile. So already seeing that come alive and be utilized.
Now the question is, does Gambit just go for one of these saves? It would not be out of the question. We've seen it all before. Everybody who's watched a Gambit game knows if they lose a couple of kills early and they have an AWP to hold on to, they tend to just keep their goodies and take it into the next round of play. Inters has parked himself still over towards Sewer, so he can deal with any rotations. But now if we're going to look at a way for Gambit to win this round, they need to get an opening kill towards A. Carrigan's on the site. He's jiggling towards long. You've got Rain in a position as well up close towards the bathrooms. Carrigan can help bait him in. And actually, hold up a second, they're starting to get active.
Yeah, they're going looking. Rain going shopping for round-winning frags. And just slips the net.
They're going to clear him?
Check him. They didn't. Backs are turned. He's been spotted now. Shiro's hit the shot. Carrigan suddenly waving a flag saying, I'd like some help, but they're pushing me every angle. Tags up Nafany well. Shiro's still posted up 9 seconds. He rots the clock so well. The way Carrigan danced around that truck as well, just completely ensuring the rotate would be there in time to deny.
Surprising not to see a Gambit save there, really. And I don't say that in tongue-in-cheek. I'm being quite serious. So that one right there, they can get the guns back out, so plenty of cash to work with. Can start working on the loss bonus of their own here. Both teams sitting in a position where 1,900 goes into their bank balance next. And I think I'd keep my eyes more on FaZe and how that CT side of the economy can get beaten down. But that was great. 2 openings. It came too easy to them again. Hobbit drops, Brokey strikes, 3 on 5, and then the rest of the round they just walk on in. Here we go one more time, and it looks like another heavy B lean here out the gate. Gambit have everybody over towards the B bomb site early.
Okay. But what's the go sign? Is it going to be util? Do they send Nafany on a little short mission?
They really want to force the issue through Monster here. Hobbit's going again. He hasn't had much success on the entries on the T side.
Good time flash. Hobbit holds his nerve, squints his eyes, and another one. This time he swings in. Olof's unprepared. Twist sitting duck as well. Hobbit with a double, nearly triple entry. He's not done. Axel finishes his meal, but Gambit just finished the round in the blink of an eye. 1 minute 15 still on the clock. That was a 30-second round.
I think he heard me. I think he heard me saying he hasn't had much impact on these T-side entries there. He's just absolutely ripped that side apart. That's one way to make a bit of a statement. And I just mentioned the loss bonus situation for FaZe. We'll check out their money right now. Not enough cash here to really go around for a buy. They could get 2 rifles up, but look how quick this was. Olof's not ready for that. Still tucking his tail down. Twist is looking the wrong way. The assist there onto Rain and Shiro. Yeah, I'll take that Heaven Peak every day of the week. That is a great round to win.
And it's Hobbit again. You know, that was how the first half of Ancient felt. It was all just Hobbit in the feed. He's come in hot again to the T side, it seems.
And it looks like we will just get another eco out of FaZe here. So they're trying that same pressure position of B, where they found Axel struggling before. This time, if they push, he's actually further, more passive, dealing with the underpass and ladder position. The rest of his teammates are working on this A territory. And he's just going to keep on grouping up with the squad here. So gifting a bit of map territory to FaZe here unknowingly. But they are aware. You can see Axel's literally walking backwards while still watching T-spawn. So he knows a push is possible at any moment. And they should just be able to deal... This should just be a round win for Gambit any day of the week, right? You shouldn't be expecting too many dramas against a Deagle, couple P250s, and 2 USPs. Now that Axel's spotted 1, he needs to be careful with the Bloodlust here. Olof might draw him in, and he's looking the wrong way. Oh, sketchy spray. Gets it done. Axel. A mechanical aim now coming out to play. 2 kills. Pressure alleviated.
Now just a formality. Nice damage from Brokey. Just puts Hobbit down, at least. And Twist, we know his Deagle. We know what it's capable of. If he could just find a couple more heads, certainly look good for the stats. Bang, just like that. Bloody hell, Twist, slow down. He can't find any more. But just a quick reminder to back up what I'm saying. The man is an absolute animal on that Desert Eagle.
Bang, bang. That's, jeez,
You see that
okay.
just momentary
Like, everything's
hesitation
fine.
from shiro, like, maybe I'll go somewhere else.
Jesus, bang. That was quick stuff there. Axel almost made a bit of a meal of this here as well, so he mops it up. Doesn't sustain too much damage, all things considered. But yeah, the fact that this happens, yeah, it's just putting that individual prowess on show. You love to see the Deagle shot delivering like that.
Yeah, one of the sharpest in Counter-Strike, there's no doubt about it, just pure mechanics. And then you've got Axel on the other side of things. It's just like a question of who is hotter today in the quarterfinals.
Oh, well, Twist has actually just been chunked on down by the man in question. Axel spammed through that monster smoke, doing a lot of damage here. Twist held on notice, 24 HP remaining.
And also worth highlighting, this is FaZe's CT side that's falling at the moment, down to just 2. Kept very honest by Gambit. And their T campaign off to a flying start. Bomb loose, just going to have Axel probe towards Monster. Rain's tucked in on, I was going to say an island. He has Brokey in support. Shiro posted up for anyone that challenges short, but I think that's in FaZe's wheelhouse right now. They're looking for more passive setup. They've kept Monster smoke relentlessly. There's a second as it lands.
They've only got 2 smokes left now, one for Brokey and Rain, and they're both over towards A, so Monster cannot be re-smoked. Oh, they're pushing. They're going for the Monster push.
With the low HP, I guess. Axel's tucked in. This is going to be very tough for FaZe to break. They need a flashbang. Olof's got them, but they're doing it dry. And Axel just holding down the spray. Twist will walk on in and Gambit collect 3 frags. Maybe Olof. Oh my god, damage high. Brokey alone. And
he's in time.
Yeah, he's there. A molly to force him off the line. Not going to throw any opportunities his way.
Well, you know, that's the, you know, we're really looking for the silver lining. Well, he's in the right place. You know, he responded in time. Unfortunately, mollied out of position, and now it's just about holding on to this AWP. The CT side economy really being felt here from FaZe. It's 2,900 in the next round, so not going to be enough for a buy again. There's a consolation frag. How many more does Brokey want? Can't convert. Shiro picks him up. And that's going to be another round on the board here for Gambit. 6-2 the scoreline.
Yeah, just not having those consecutive rounds as a CT side, you just start feeling like you've ecoed the majority of your weapon rounds.
And they have to do it again, right? Even though next round they get the 3,400, they're still going to have to go for just a pistol upgrade. You're not going to see too much into this one. Now, it can be threatening. We spoke about Twist Eagle. We saw Twist Eagle. But that means it's going to happen with just more than Twist. It can't just be one man popping off with shots like that, especially as the last surviving in a 1-on-4. But so far, scores on the doors. A quick little count here while we get this next round, round number 9, underway. Shiro, 11 frags, Axel, 10, Hobbit, 7. All 3 individuals right now for Gambit. The stars are showing up, and they're getting the job done. Now, it's about avoiding the landmine if you're Gambiting around like this. Just don't step onto any of these pesky stacks. And, well, that molly's fantastic. That's going to flush both Rain and Brokey deeper down into connector. It's unconfirmed. We can see all that information here, but it's buying them time as they start to work the crawl up towards long.
And this is so optimized. Again, as they know, they're up against some pesky pistols, which are very threatening in 2021. You head to long. You take those long, every duel tradable as you're partnered up. I say that, of course, not for those on the extremities. Hobbit isolated. Axel just holding that monster push.
He's always just watching behind, poor Axel.
Oh, chance goes awry. Rain won't get a second chance and makes it clear he's not planning on taking anything. A little bit of a lurk smoke. The Hobbit just replaces with a bit deeper one.
Right now, if I'm FaZe, I would play for exit kills, right? Just try and do a little bit of damage to the T-sided economy by taking away a couple of these AKs. Twist has a smoke and a flash here. That might enable something a little bit explosive.
this orchestra.
Yeah, symphony of Deagles.
Eagles.
Are they going to flash and go? Like, they do have that U2. It would make sense to try and get a couple of exits here.
Certainly does. There's the
flash.
And there's the response from Nafany. Absolutely not interested. Finally silence. Brokey would love another. The shadow implies Shiro's on his way into the peak and some damage inflicted. 7 for Gambit. And FaZe now just feeling like we got weapons again.
Yeah, it's so few and far between for them, right? And I think that's part of not being able to save guns either. You're going to need to hold on to these. That's why Gambit, that's why VP, that's why all these teams are doing it, so they could have more threatening rounds time and time again. But if you're being hunted, like what Gambit have been doing in some of these situations, wow, that even gets a difficult task as well. So here we go. What feels like maybe the 3rd rifle round for FaZe so far in what has been 10 rounds of play, or full rifle round. Let's see if they can convert.
Such a stark contrast as well to Gambit's T side over on Ancient. There's just so much intent in every second that passes of this T affair. Exile the lone wolf, looking to take a chunk out of Olof, but there it is, the Swede. Bests him, the nade looks very promising. Could have taken two of them there. Twist to chunk down, Olof does live on. Nafany walking up on that. Yeah, I don't know if Rain is going to be exposed. Nafany will use that smoke's closing stages to slink into the underpass.
If they go back towards B, that's where the low HP Olof is, and I think they're actually swapping out Twist and Brokey right now as well. They've just crossed each other like ships in the night, so rejigging the setup, there is a bit of a gap right here that Gambit might be able to exploit.
But an opening frag, and an untraded one, albeit, yes, unconfirmed nade damage, but here we go. Let's see if FaZe can make this shot count. Very defensive incendiary there, 50-second mark, just fending them off, and Nafany just taking a glance to confirm that no one's pushed up. Rain, oh dear, nearly made a meal of that. Swinging into the site now, Hobbit found. Good shot from Olof. Leaves just two of them. Nade looks destined for success. If he finds Karrigan, it could have been the double. They live on. And just Shiro now with 30 seconds and a good wall bang. It's only that. FaZe do make good on the promise.
Shiro's looks really good with the rifle. I think I touched on it earlier here within this half, but the moments he's been having, it's not necessarily that AWP impact that we know him for. He's been looking very, very handy. And there wasn't that many T-rounds to boast over there on Ancient, but he was doing good in the skirmishes and keeping that up there. Damage is important, right, for that CT economy, because now if FaZe lose this one, okay, well, then we start having this conversation again. No saved rifles. Are they down? Are they having to go for FAMASs instead, MP9s instead? Easy as you like there for Twists, up and over. 7-3, timeout called. That was a Gambit timeout. And right now, it's about making sure you can inflict as much pain on this T side as you possibly can, right? Map number 1, yeah, we let it get away from us, but that's in the past. Let's continue to pump on these rounds as we look back into play. Round number 11. I wonder if there's going to be any change up here. It doesn't really feel like there needs to be for Gambit. They can just keep going through this default. They still have quite a few to work with here. Aggression from Brokey. Timer on it. Realizes the chance for aggression here. Nafany's up close and personal. The next peak coming on through as the bathroom smoke is in the air. That one lands and blooms. And a bit more pacey on this one here with Gambit walking up towards the bathrooms with a 3-man pack. I say that, it's just the default spread as usual, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, just Hobbit just gets to choose between party and underpass. That's
quite nice.
The only mix-up.
You get two places you get to go on the map, and Axile, you get to watch B push, and then you watch behind. But this is the thing. It might be, you know, a cut and paste, but that's what we're looking for here. The fact that they're regimented, they're able to do this while still showing different faces, different looks. Keeps everybody on their toes.
Well, certainly. I mean, you know, for these CTs around Monster, it could very well be that same 4-man setup, all hiding in the deep corners and the surfs. For now, they are postured to pop onto a site. Like a T variation of that toilet setup. A couple of stray bullets through the planks. Hobbit on notice, and Axel caught on the grey screen, just walking through, trying to take some liberties in some space, catch anyone that may have gone for the rotate. Rain digging his heels into long here. He's on his own. Enters to test the waters, and an important frag found by the Norwegian. Brokey another, and Gambit just being picked apart. He said they had to inflict damage. Well, a spotless CT round, 2 consecutive CT rounds, is going to put FaZe in good stead to do some damage in the final 5. Oh, Rain, give me any more. Shiro denies. 15-4. He's definitely been able to avoid death the majority of the time, and it seems like this one no exception.
Yeah, holds on to that AWP, and there's still money there for another Gambit buy. So all things are looking good at this juncture here, but that round didn't. That was very one at a time, and I think what the concept was to get Axel through, keep them busy on the B bomb site, and then explode on towards A, but it just looked one at a time. Axel goes through, dies, Inter picks around the corner, dies, Nafany comes in through the bathrooms, dies. It was just individual jewels that couldn't be traded, right? Every single one of these was in isolation, and that right there, well, I think it was the undoing for Gambit in a round like that. So another timeout called. Back-to-back timeouts. Interesting. It's interesting to see Gambit pulling out another one of those consecutively.
And I'm not going to make any assumptions, but we certainly saw evidence that Gambit can be shaken. That's all I will say for now over on our first map. Certainly a solid haul already from the Gambit boys.
I think you and I may be reflecting what a lot of people are thinking, because map 1 at 11-1, you were thinking, okay, yeah, this is the wake-up. This is the wake-up call. We're at FaZe. They've over-exceeded. They've made it to the playoffs. You know, that storyline we either presented, they were either going to get slammed or we're going to have a real banger of a series.
Slam.
It was looking like slam.
Come on, slam.
And now with the scoreline, really, in a lot of other cases, if a T-side team is winning at this margin, it's like, well, this is a great half already, you know. But right now, like, I don't know. Like, I'm keeping this one cautious right now.
Roki wants to have another look. And this time he does wing clip Nafany. That nade did look promising, but he's smarter than me. He does just hit the brakes and live on. At least he'll be able to deploy his utility. He may not be able to apply his trade in the same way. And this is actually a smart change-up. So they'll put Nafany in Axal's place in the default spread with his low HP.
Yeah, so now it's going to be curious, though, because the issue is where they limped out one at a time. So if they can't get the map control they're looking for to go for a set piece here, I don't know how much that's really going to change things up.
Sure, but just an interesting alteration. Now, Intus has got well ahead of the pack with 0 contact, no flash, nothing. He just walked into toilets.
What is changing here? Look at this. They've all just crossed over each other over towards A. Nafany, who was, as you mentioned, babysitting B, has just rotated all the way back over towards Party. Shiro, Axel, and Hobbit have just left all the territory they had and now heading back towards the B side.
Yeah, Rain's flashed off toilets. Previously, though, Twists and Olof, they just pushed full water control, had short pipe, and have decided to tuck back straight into the site. So some chess being played without a bullet being fired. The nade looks destined for greatness from Twist, and it will soften up 2 of them, puts them in that one-shot headshot range of an M4.
There's something being called right now. Like, Karrigan's over here as well. Like, they're really feeling something out here, FaZe. They have enough pieces over towards this B site.
Oh, God, yeah, he's not so sold anymore. Was about to rotate. There's a gap in that smoke. Olof will drop a flame to separate. They hear the sound cues. He's burning and caught out in the smoke. Gambit uprooted here. And one by one they go. Straight into the smoke, straight into the meat grinder. There's plenty of weapons to spray. And heads to pop. Olof takes another. Bomb is under CT rule, and with 10 seconds left, Shiro and Nafany got to decide what the hell's up here. Just survival? Doesn't look like it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I think they want to hold on to this, right? But if Olof continues pushing forward, he might take Nafany down after time here. Nafany doesn't want to go down.
Ah, that's a disaster.
Oh, dearie me. Nafany with 1,450, no loss bonus coming on in. That one there is really going to hurt. This was looking like Gambit had the chance to win the half. Now we're putting that into question here.
Okay.
These last 2 rounds in a row from Gambit, it hasn't looked like the Gambit we saw in the first half of this half. It's actually very curious to see. I wonder what has really changed this. Do they bail out now and go for something a little bit more pacey? Like, Shiro has that AWP, so it doesn't hugely facilitate a faster play, but maybe something with a bit more conviction.
Can't fault you for asking for it. Seen the lack of pace work wonderfully for FaZe. See what they can cook up here in round 30. Olof, quick sweep of short, confirms nothing to be concerned about immediately.
Second smoke over towards Monster has already been deployed, so that's going to be fading soon. And I want to keep this in everybody's mind. When you do see the default like this, your players on the extremities are calling out the util, right? So Axel's already called 2 smokes Monster. There's a third. It is in the hands of Olof here. This is brave. It
takes a certain type of player to be sitting like this. He's not up the jail, he's just standing there, and that's not fun. Fully blind. Good catch from Axel, and a quick response just about across the line from Olof. Potential trade. Shiro whips out the P250 to finish the job before he can retreat, just pulling pins on his util. And now FaZe are the ones on the back foot. Plenty of time. It seems like Gambit want to pull away.
Yeah, and it looks that pivot right now is back over towards that A site, but they're operating in the dark here. Nafany, as far as he went, was Party, right? They don't know what's going on in bathrooms. It's actually Brokey, who looks like he's the closest player over towards the A site right now. He is rotating back in, and you can see how scared he is about it.
Yeah.
They don't know if there's any push, right? So if they're quick about this, Gambit can almost get the site for free, but I think Brokey might beat them there.
Does he go ahead of the smoke when he sees it? I think he will. You gotta take some chances, and he will through the flames, finding his safe hidey hole. He could be cleared, and he's second quick from the first. Hinters respond, and a chance now for Rain. A quick tap, agile as ever, and from behind the denial, Karrigan finds it, and FaZe react. Make it 6. Gambit dethroned a little here.
They just scooped him up there. That right there was looking great for Gambit. They were in a fantastic position, and now finally broken. Their money is in a position where they cannot purchase. But that was a really good start for them. They were able to get that one onto Twist with the flash. They pop on in. Here it is for everybody at home. Twist is completely blind. Great. Okay, Hobbit goes down short, but Shiro immediately trades. There was still 50 seconds left on the clock. Now, check the timer. 10 seconds left. Karrigan's up connector behind 2 of them. A double kill. Easy as you like. FaZe are back in things.
Completely.
This should be leveled up 7-7. Like, it's just a partial buy right now. Gambit in the final round of play. They get the full loss bonus, and Brokey up close and personal with the AWP. He strikes again.
Knows their pistols, but he's not being too thrown off by it. He will get overrun eventually, but a double's fine. But the AWP is the main issue. An AWP to be recovered. I assume Shiro will ply his trade with it. Scavenged away the Zoom banger. High flash. No response.
They're trying to set up the triple boost.
They are trying
to set up the triple boost right now. They might get Olof here, actually. There's a real chance they get this triple boost to work.
Ooh, Olof to get a taste of a boost on our overpass. Here it comes. Element of surprise. Did he spawn?
Oh, definitely there. I think as well, because they flubbed it, Rain may have been close enough to hear the jump noise, so that could have been communicated across as well as the scope. So Gambit with a little tricky maneuver there, but they didn't stick the landing on it, and now they're pivoting back.
Based off that information, Twist is going to lock the key. They will not be able to return through Playground.
That little mistake, it's going to cost them everything here.
Certainly. They're about to walk straight into a pushed-up Rain. They will find at least the first. Not much chances now as he draws the crosshair. A big find and an AK for Nafany to equip. He's got smoke. Twist admittedly confirming no one's retreating. It's Carrigan and Olof I'm concerned about. And if Olof just puts his head in the wrong angle, he will be exposed to the AWP. 5 bullets left in the mag here, Shiro. You may want to get that reload done. 15 seconds, and the flank comes in, and it's too easy for FaZe to make it 7. They could leave with a 1-half here.
This is crazy. It was 7-2, and now it's 7-7. This is twice in a row, right? Like, sure, the T-half there for FaZe over on Ancient, it wasn't great, but they brought it back in the late stages. This time they're doing it more so. It is the CT side. It's where they do the better work. Here's Brokey with a multi-kill. Under pressure there, short. Up against the pistol, short. Still important frags to hit. Well, this is it. Gambit really need this to salvage something. It has been 5 rounds in a row here from FaZe that have gone completely unanswered. Gambit need to pick up a round here just to give themselves confidence, I suppose, is the best thing I can look for.
Yeah, I mean, considering as well that a lot of the rounds they were converting were on those weakened FaZe buys. They have to prove to themselves they can win it on a gun-v-gun duel, head-to-head. Bit of flak caught from Carrigan there as the wallbangs exchanged.
It's nade as well again.
They're walking in contact. This is a lot more progress, a more passive hold. Olof desperate to support by Twists, and already even trades. Twist lining them up, and it looks like Olof can knock them down. Deagle equipped, doesn't opt for the reload. Inters provides a crucial frag. That's only his 5th, but it's put it into a 2v2, and it should be a bomb plant. Thrown across to Nafany. Nade looks like it's destined for damage. Chips away, unconfirmed. No wallbang attempt this time, and oh, that nade hurts. Nafany's ears are ringing. Inters rings the bell of rain all the same. Fakes the drop, might force a peek. Nafany had a glance. Brokey smart about this. He's very quick on the AWP now. He does break the legs, and it's Nafany to secure it. Gambit take 8. A sigh of relief perhaps as it's a 1 on the half. But damn inseparable. FaZe Clan making Gambit work on their map pick.
Of course, it's harder to find the mistakes when you're winning, but we're trying to do this because we have no choices. I mean, we need to improve ourselves because we would like to dominate and to create some error like Astralis did. And as I know, Astralis won the tournament. It was major, I guess, and the next day they already practiced it.
Hey Future Pros! Today I thought I'd teach you all how to do the famous quad boost on Overpass. To execute this boost, you must have 5 Future Pros and 1 AWP. Future Pro number 1, you have the easy job. All you have to do is run and stand in this spot. Future Pro number 2, you will have to jump onto the head of Future Pro 1 by jumping from the railing. Future Pro number 3. Now that Future Pro 2 is nice and situated, you can now jump onto their head by also jumping from the railing. This is higher than 2 people, so you'll be sliding when you jump onto their heads. Make sure you are sliding into the wall and try not to slip off. Future Pro number 4. Your job is to get Future Pro 5 on top of everybody else's head. You need to crouch down and let Future Pro 5, FP5, hop onto your head and get in their spot. Lucky Future Pro number 5. You actually get to shoot something. Hop on top of your teammate's head and you should easily be able to jump on top of everybody else's. You will also be sliding when up there, but you should be able to make it around the corner while sliding into the wall. Now you'll have a clear vision to a few spots on B, so take your time and place your shot. Happy boosting.
FaZe Clan were written out as we saw them thrust to the lower bracket of IEM Cologne by Astralis, and then proceeded to second-guess them every step of the way. First against Spirit, a full 3-map affair. They took down scalp after scalp. Spirit, Vitality, Heroic. Sure, you've done that much, but then everyone looked at Gambit in the bracket and just shook their head. But to be 1-0 up and to have had an 8-7 half, unfortunately, Chad, it hinges on a T side that has not had, perhaps, all of the kinks ironed out of it.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult here. Let's see how much Carrigan's been able to do in the break. They've had 4 days between the end of play for the groups and now the playoffs here kicking off. If there was ever a game plan, it's time to see it. And Shiro steps straight on in. Instant goosh. He's dead. That's a number advantage.
His flash is late. They're already in. Doesn't stop into striking with a double from that barrel's position. Now they're suppressed by those flashbangs. Long range Glock from Twists. He needs another. Nafny and Hobbit combine. God, the bullets are everywhere. 1v2 quickly established and Gambit just regain complete composure. No issue, but I love the firing squad down Monster. Quick to see that one return to Gambit's control.
Yeah, now this is where we have to bring up that stat line again with FaZe when it comes to second round 4 spy wins. Now, haven't seen if their purchases are coming through just yet, so if they take the save, it'd be very unlikely that they'll convert off the back of this. But Inters, towards the tail end there, he was a big part in that last round that they were able to get on the board, and now on the pistol round, bowed them out with a double. Hobbit's done the same, and here you go. It's going to be FaZe with an eco. So they're not going to be changing that stat line here, unless an absolute miracle happens. So what are we looking at here? Just the 1 P250 on Rain. I can paint you a picture. Rain would have to find an opening. They'd have to be able to pick up one of these rifles and work with that.
Put your brushes down. Put your brushes
down. Look, I don't know. This whole thing about FaZe, I'm not easily like romanticized by things, right? I kind of fell into the bucket that was to do more with Gambit coming in here and showing this dominant style. But we are getting the back and forth affair. And I'll remind everybody at home, the team waiting in that semi-final here is Na'Vi. Gambit, I would love to sink their teeth into them and just right the wrongs of recently.
I mean, how many head-to-heads of Gambit and Na'Vi have we seen to do it again on the greatest of stages, on the return to LAN? That's what Gambit are here for. You know, I mean, they talked about it. They talked about what they want in the grand final. Never mind, we were asking everyone for their predictions of the grand final of Na'Vi Gambit. Never mind, all of that. It could be stopped in the quarterfinals, but it would require FaZe Clan to do the impossible. And that is, of course, Best Gambit, who are now 6 rounds away from taking us to Inferno, an iconic cider map, and one where I'm certain we'd get to see the individuals of FaZe test the boys of Gambit.
Now this is it, the AKs are out here. FaZe took that save just there so they can go for the 3rd round AK buy. They've got all the goodies they require, the util in, the armor behind it, and setting up a triple nade stack here. This might be perfect. Could get 2 of them here.
This is gonna hurt.
Oh,
what?
The firing squad.
You perfectly read it. 1 minute 35. Let's just quickly dismantle for 5 seconds, just in case they throw it.
That was insane. That's like some Matrix bullet dodging stuff right there. All right.
Well, the hairs on the back of their neck stood up.
Yeah, quick on their toes and the balls of their feet. Well, that is crisis avoided right there for Gambit. That would have been a terrible way to kick off the first gun rounds here.
but it is going to imply that there's presence monster that currently there isn't.
This is one of the conversations we have a lot, or have had a lot about Gambit in the past, is this double man set up towards Monster. Hobbit and Inters, they lock this down time and time again. They funnel you in through sandbags. Nafany as that rotator, that linchpin of all of this. He swings between that A and the B bomb site, and he is the best scrambler I think we've seen in recent time when he comes up and aids this A bomb site. And guess where he is? On his way over.
Got a close flash and everything. Karrigan jumps through, and that's a very nerdy flash that doesn't quite catch Rain. Karrigan, vision restored. Rain, frag delivered, and there's more in the feed for FaZe. If they could just find it, who is it? Nafany on the site. He's always a bit of a nuisance. Molotov out, but still stands his ground. Burnt to a crisp, 2v3, and it looks like FaZe have got the site here. Hobbit unable to contest. He could go for the wall bang. Olof tucked in on APC, and that's a duel. Olof wins. FaZe started over towards Monster, but finished strong over towards the A site, and there's 4 Gambit bodies littering the site. It's not like they weren't there to defend.
Yeah, that was a big play right there. I think, right, Shiro going down immediately, they were not drawing first blood, right? If Gambit drew first blood there, then the trades may have fallen in their favor. And then from Hobbit, you can see, I might try and take this risk because the bomb was getting planted, knows that's likely like a 2v2 as far as fights go, because that third man planting is taken out of the situation. But couldn't get it across the line, and well, now 1,400 in that bank balance. Have to start looking at Gambit. This right now is a huge decision for the remainder of this half because it's still early days and that money is fragile. There's enough for Hobbit to buy, right? They could maybe drop some stuff across knowing that they have to save them fall. But this is where the big questions are, right? Do they want to go all in and contest right here? Because if they do and then they don't save going forward and this one falls flat, that will allow FaZe to get right back into this game. The scoreline is 10-8, right? You consider this if it's a force buy and they lose. Oh, it is a force buy. All right, a lot on the line here. Shiro has the AWP out, been able to facilitate that. Thank you very much, Hobbit.
Okay, well that puts a lot on his back. Will he find anything on the early glance? Nothing to report playground. FaZe throwing out some util very early into the piece. 2 smokes, like graffiti side and one perhaps a little missed.
It's drawing a huge rotation. It's just left Hobbit, the guy with the deagle, the only guy playing A right now, and well, up through the underpass they come. We spoke about the over-rotations of Gambit against G2. Maybe FaZe are trying to play a similar little trick here.
Hobbit is pushed up, so at least he's an early warning system, you'd hope. Shiro has arrived to support, and the smoke implies there's more of a passive stance. Hobbit tucked in tight.
Karrigan's hearing this as well, so 2 players dismounting.
I think Karrigan's sound cue is enough for 3 players leaning that side. Shiro's even pulled across as Karrigan unloads his mag just into smoke.
I guess the call here is from Gambit, if they go A, we save, right? The only way that they go for this is if Hobbit gets multiple kills here. One's not going to be enough, right? They're just going to save these rifles, and right now, FaZe are looking destined to go towards A. Hobbit would have to pull off a miracle.
Pins are cocked. 2 players without their weapons out. Chooses not to strike. 30 seconds, he hears it, starts to communicate. This is about checking the corner. Nice find. And that should be the save call immediately.
Oh, it's just 1 kill, and that's it. We could see that one coming for days. The forecast of that, it was very clear what Gambit were going for. Just hedging their bets, hoping that they could stack the correct bomb site, and not to be the case. So that fake early out of FaZe drew all the players over, and it was all a ruse. It was not to be that B bomb site whatsoever.
And Karrigan just putting on such a show. You know, he's like, watery steps, little wall bang, throw out a nade. Kept their feet planted, and you could see even Shiro was like, just a rock in a hard place until that call was made. We'll just have another go.
Now here, this discussion was probably, I want to say something that we spoke about all the way back in maybe 2018, maybe even 2017. I don't have the exact year, but it was about letting teams save, right? And the fact that they're holding onto an MP9 and a FAMAS, the buy's not great. Sure, it gets to be threatening, but at the same time, they're holding onto weapons where they have to make certain types of plays.
Sure.
Right? The MP9 has to be close or has to go for an info play. The FAMAS, Axel, maybe with an M4 he'd get 2, maybe with the FAMAS he'll only get 1. Like, these are all the conditions that start to shift and change. Now, that save was important because if FaZe were to win that round and clean house, take away all those rifles, an open runway to tie things up 10-10, at least now Gambit have something to contest with, all the while their loss bonus starting to build. It's going to be 2,400 in the next round, and that'll give them enough to go for another buy if they would like. It's just not going to be a great buy again. So here we go.
Only feeds further into FaZe's power level.
Yeah, this is actually starting to get real worrying for Gambit here.
This is a tournament that They know all eyes are on them.
That's going to be heartbreak. Going to be absolute heartbreak, and we'll get denied that Na'Vi versus Gambit. Everybody's wanting to see that matchup.
But I don't even think this current Shake and Gambit have got the capacity to question the form of Na'Vi in this current state. They can change our minds, and they will have the chance to here in round 20. Definitely not pretty. An unarmored USP for Hobbit, but let's see if the remaining 4 can voice concerns as they do start to scroll on in. Bullets exchange. Shiro's AWP has connected. Inter's quite the opposite. They're playing for the retake. One tucked in graffiti. Shiro still holding on to that short line. Bit ambitious. They'll boost and jump for the info. Confirms no one short side. Who's going to be the difference maker? Brokey. He's ready and waiting for that Axel find. Shiro's delivered one through the wall.
There's a kit on Inter's body, so there is a chance for this. There's a real chance for this.
Big chance. Very big chance. Karrigan can only get the one, and it's Twist that has to come up clutch. The magnificent Van Dulkin with a 1v2. The magic act is coming into play. There's nothing Shiro can do. Comes up clutch with just the frag. He'll go down with the bomb. Or will he?
Can survive all the way back here, so the fact he even gets away with his life, that's fantastic. I thought there would have been a chance right there. There felt like there was enough pressure, but you look to Karrigan. The fact he gets multiple kills there as they're pushing on in. Oh, all right, well, the buy coming out one more time. The money is there to do it. Gambit kept themselves threatening.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, 10-10. See this from Karrigan, you were talking about it.
That was the kit I was talking about on Inter's body, right? So that one getting dropped there. Shiro feels like he gets away with a couple there, doesn't he? And then this is it. When they pivot on out, Karrigan's able to deny. That one kill, and now it's about the clock. We know that Shiro can't go for that with the AWP, needs to retain it.
Rain, pep in his step, full control of water side. Hobbit. Ooh, doesn't even need to extinguish. He will have the element of surprise. Karrigan's going to assume that's clear. He's going to assume that's fully clear. That should be a freebie.
Oh,
should be a
dearie me.
freebie. Cool your jets, Hobbit. Assumed he had it in the bag. Nearly lost it in the process. Ooh, Rain might have his number here. Definitely jumping for info to bail out his teammate. And there goes Hobbit's escape. Trajectory implies Twist is on the hunt. Chances for FaZe now falling away. Burnt a little and extinguished by his teammate. So Inters holds his line.
Huge rotation.
4v5 here. Yeah, they've pulled the whole squad. Shiro will return more util as they drop it. They're actually going to commit to this. Careful now, Twist. Has to respect the incendiary. Rain is up the ramp with the bomb, though. It is a full commit. There goes the bomb. Inters delivers. Brokey's AWP spotted out. Olof unable to contribute as well. Looks like Gambit have locked them out of the site. Brokey has his vision restored after that flashbang, and he's just holding out hope. There's too many targets. Takes one with him, and now perhaps some weapon upgrades for Gambit. They do maintain the lead, but the current standings of this half, of course, it was 8-7, now 3-3 from this second half, leaves Gambit with just that one round advantage.
Yeah, things are still very, very close on a knife's edge here. Gambit's position is a lot more precarious than that of FaZe's, right? The thing is, if they can start getting into the sites, get the bomb down, and they can continue to, you know, kill 2 to 3 players on Gambit every single time, the pressure will be on that CT economy throughout. But they have a really nice buy looking this time round. They've got some kits in place, so Kit Watch is looking fine here. There's more emissions for FaZe right now as Brokey's down to a deagle and Twist gobbles that one up. Nade straight on down the gullet, 33 points of health remaining. That's a huge HE early.
Oh, not expecting the off angle, just drawn in by the wallbang of Hobbit's teammate.
Yeah, that's 2 rounds in a row. Hobbit's found the opening, right? It's the CT sides where Hobbit is really having a good time in finding that aggression, opening up the account. And now FaZe are tunneling over towards A.
Karrigan, if he does this dry, it's Shiro's frag all day of the week. Oh! Or not, okay, changes my mind. Axel blows theirs out of the server. What a transfer straight into the 90-degree adjustment. Karrigan's not done, apparently. 12 HP, Twist's down to 30 from the aforementioned nade. I mean, Karrigan, this time, cooked. Twist would need the trade, the pre-fire is there, but Inters is too. 12 for Gambit. FaZe, whew, they can count on Carrigan for some steamers, it seems.
I really want to, give a big thumbs up to Inters right now. He's being a hero for Gambit. He's being massive. And look, he's not, mowing the entire team down, but he's had a bunch of multi-kills throughout. The pistol round, he had 2, right? In a gun round just previously, he had 2. Just there, he had 2. So really looking at Inters here for being a safe pair of hands on that B site. And I want to highlight a couple of other little details. When Hobbit's playing that connector position, FaZe immediately know that B bomb site is a different setup, and Inters is tested. That was sick by Axel. Yeah. That shot by Carrigan, though, onto Shiro, that was a blinder.
It was. Axel just immediately.
Oh, here he is again.
I can do better, and here's another demonstration. He's running out of bullets here. 5 does put an M4 on the ground. Shiro could get overrun. He could, being the operative word. A good find, and Carrigan just clotheslined by that high caliber bullet.
Hobbit's in connector here as well, so going to be able to call that there's nobody over towards Party. A chance here to get themselves a decent lead, Gambit. This should be 13-10. Unless something catastrophic happens.
I think Hobbit's got a good understanding of the situation. He might take a cursory glance. Has chosen not to. The tightest of lines held here by Nafany. I've got to get my nose right to the monitor to see what he's seeing. There it is. Oof, and there he goes. Oh, great play from Nafany. He's not even breaking a sweat, and there's nothing more that FaZe can do. A 7 HP Rain. Will be 13.
Yeah, Rain here just going to see if anybody else comes his way. He'd love a kill or 2 on the way out the door here. 2,400 in the next round. And the economy has played such a big factor here in just the back and forth of these rounds. Hobbit executes, and there it is. All right, have Gambit done enough here to right the ship? You saw a little smile there on Axel's face, so the mood in the camp, it must be lifting here. But this is where they got blanked on Ancient. All right, they lost that first map 16-13. And FaZe, they're pushing them. Let's be honest here, this isn't just a blowout by any means. They're pushing them. They're doing it. But is it going to be enough on Overpass? No T-side at AWP. Brokey won't be able to go head-to-head with Shiro on the other side of things. But still yet to build a bank. Gambit, they're not working with a lot of residual cash here. A little, not a lot. The extinguish. That tells a lot. There's 2 players over in towards playground. Olaf trying to shoot the jumping head of Nafany here, who even has the audacity to go for another one.
Olaf, Meister, and Rain partnered up. The remaining trio starting a campaign towards Longside, and Shiro's AWP will be there. Need a deep flash, need a strong arm here, Twists. I hope you've been doing your curls. A run boost and a flash, that's kind of cool. Let's see Shiro. Oh, just handed it on a silver platter. Didn't quite get the airtime he was hoping for. And now FaZe definitely on the back foot. There's a man advantage wherever you look. Olaf wants to claw something back. Rain's holding the right angle, and Inters, however, as you've discussed, has been such a consistent presence for Gambit here on the side. He's not going to give anything away for free. 40-second mark as a smoke check from here. It looks like I only see 1, so there is a real chance FaZe will have the opportunity to group up and commit.
It looks like they're going back towards B, and Nafany's actually bitten in the wrong way here. He's over towards that A site now, so big problems now for Hobbit and Inters defending this site. They're about to have what could be a 4-on-2.
Oh, and that's Inters' death. Rain, patience rewarded. Hobbit would have to do an awful lot here. He's got multiple targets dancing around the pillar. Carrigan just baiting them beautifully, but they're not looking fully flashed. He can't finish his meal. Shiro can. The bomb is loosened with 10 seconds left. If Shiro hits that shot, it should be done. Carrigan would have to come up clutch. They're closing the gap too fast from either angle. Does get it down, but that's 14.
Good plan. Like, we'll take that, right? FaZe there were operating at a man disadvantage the entire time with Twist death at long. So the fact that they get that bomb down, the fact that the loss bonus at 2,900, we can keep that conversation alive here about FaZe continuing to threaten. Otherwise, it would have been a very limp-looking buy to contest against round number 15 for Gambit here. If they would like, they can purchase in with these AKs. But it got close again, right? Inters caught out. He bloody had knife out there as he tried to cross back across Monster. And Hobbit struggled to get that second kill. 1 ended up being enough there, but still close scenes here.
You see Shiro's angle management, like he was as far back as he possibly could, just wanted more info than anything else, didn't want to be caught by a stray bullet.
This might be pacey here. It's just a half buy right now from FaZe, and everybody heading towards B straight away. Strap yourself in.
I don't think the Gambit youngsters were playing when the Astralis Tech 9 rush was vogue, and that's Inters' response to it. 3 in quick succession on the Monster Pipe. Nothing really left for him. Brokey and Olaf, just the remaining pieces.
Gatling guns there just through the monster. Crazy for them just to be stalled out, just immediately negated on that push. And look, you can make a lot of sense that now next round they're going to be able to go for the full buy, the half buy, you know, the ripcord, we hit that, we get into the site, we're able to get a couple kills, get the bomb down, things are looking honky-dory, but now it'll fall and it's a clean sheet. So Gambit now, I spoke about that economy not being built up. I'm not sure how much of the conversation that's going to be here. Looking to close this one out.
And doing it with the consecutive rounds we were waiting for. FaZe got 3 every time into the site, but now kept silent for 5. Every weapon you could possibly desire. Brokey back on that T-Orb. Quick recap of Inter's crosshair placement's perfect. The spray even better. 3 down. Now let's see if FaZe have got anything more to say about this. Yeah, the T-Orb is in play, but gonna be seeing Twist again. Ooh, catching a nade on his cross.
It's a few times as well. It seems to be just landing on his head time and time again. Really banking on Brokey to be able to find a pick with this T-sided orb now. And that was the difference from their last gun round, which was just the 5 AK-47s.
And formerly was alongside, this time a double toilet setup. We have just lost Hobbit. Stray bullets through the smoke have put him down. Inters recovers the smoke, so it's not all bad, but man advantage FaZe.
This is one of the rounds there where you might see Gambit go for a gamble stack on one of the sites, right? They've already lost a man here. You may as well just gamble, and then you can save, because it's just about one round now, right? It's just about getting one round. So it doesn't matter if you get the scoreline to be 16-14 or the scoreline to be 16-10, just as long as you get that one round. You want to give yourself as many opportunities as possible. And actually, FaZe, who were looking like they wanted to go towards long, Shiro might find Twist here. The molly says a lot, but Shiro's peak, well, it was Axar's peak, holy moly.
Yeah, red beans and all that. 4v4 now. Now they will commit towards B, and it seems like by bringing it to a 4v4, they might want to contest. Inter's playing a passive side, and looks like he'll go on the flash. Catches them. 30-second mark, and more barrage of util. Olof caught sleeping, didn't clear his corners, assumed it was clear. Now with the bomb down, Gambit 3 frags away from taking us to Inferno. Carrigan wants to clear this out. He knows he's down there, and a big find from the Dane. More from heaven. If he could just tuck in. He knows he could get overrun and peek from above. That Z-axis is no fun. And still tames the spray. Oh, nearly another. Down to Brokey to come up clutch and extend play. He's in such a good position to do it. Just needs to pull the trigger on the first. No one can get their grubby mitts on the bomb. And he'll get out scot-free. FaZe say play on.
And Shiro goes down with the bomb there as well, so great situation for Brokey to walk away with there. It's crazy that that one kill that Axar gets spurs them on to go for that retake, and I thought Inters had done enough to at least allow his teammates to come over and help, but they almost just left him, hang him out to dry right there. So you're right, FaZe are able to extend play, but really for how much longer, that's the question here. How many more times can they manufacture an opening like that? That came through a smoke spell, right? So
wasn't the AWP.
Yeah, and this is how we look and see if they go back into this default. I'm sure Twist is fed up of going into Playground and getting naded on top of the head every single time.
Yeah, let's live in his POV for a second. Never mind, we've got a boost going on that could contest. Rain, oh, they spot him as he jumps at a dink through the corrugated iron. Dunk's just a little shy of the mark, and I say that as it actually finds Carrigan in a cruel twist of fate.
Carrigan's come up quick here. He's come up very quick through underpass.
When he hears one gallivanting away and does spank the bottom. Hobbit just before he could tuck in. And then there's another man advantage. They found it, they've forged it. Can they hold on to it? It's all about the execution now. Shiro's pushed up aggressive toilets, and that does pose a problem. As does Nafany with some aggression. Olof greets him with bullets.
Problems now, big
Real
problems now. There's a minute left on the clock right now. FaZe can just hit pause. They don't have to do anything for the next 30 seconds. They can regroup. It's on Gambit here. Do they want to go for aggressive maneuvers? But just around the corner is Axel and Shiro still on A.
Axel's got the AUG. Has he got the reactions? Oh! He ducks under the crosshair and laughs it off. Low HP, who cares? Now they know where you are as well, Shiro. Firing off that shot seems to have spurred them straight into the other side of the map, and it's a great call. No one can contest it. Carrigan, he knows they'll be quick to stack up. When there's smoke, there's fire. When there's Shiro, there's Inters.
Well, it has to be the save call now. Gambit have to concede, right? I was just talking about it going to be too easy for Gambit, just going to go for all these saves, going to put themselves in a position. Because they went for that 4v4 situation and lost everything. Shiro went down with the bomb. Their money and their loss bonus bottomed out. So we're rebuilding that now in the later stages, and that's what we talk about, one of the worst times to do so. The CT side of the economy broken late in a half. This is now going to really suck for Gambit. The fact they hold on to this AWP, it gives them a chance. It's only 1,900. There's not going to be enough money to get the full purchase on everybody here. So maybe we get another timeout called from Gambit here. We haven't even had a timeout called from FaZe so far. That's quite an interesting little stat line right there. Gambit have 2 remaining.
But FaZe don't relent. Big find. And we saw it was Carrigan that found that opening frag just based off of a sound cue alone. You know, it's all about punishing mistakes we talk about. Hobbit probably didn't even consider the fact he's making a step that early into the round a mistake, but the pace of Carrigan and the initiative that he took.
Let's see if Hobbit being the first death is a factor to continue. Round 26 and round 27, Hobbit gave up that first death and then FaZe converted. So we only have 3 more rounds of regulation in play just here.
And you also highlighted that a lot of the rounds Gambit were winning was off of Hobbit's CT aggression. So maths.
Yeah, there's definitely a correlation right there. And well, we called for a timeout. Gambit, they think the same. Now, there's a lot of conversations to be had here. Inters can drop her M4. Hobbit can buy himself. There's a Famis that Shiro can drop. They can make a buy work. Right? It's looking a lot tidier than, a lot healthier than what I immediately gave it credit for.
But the ramifications of that, I imagine, too much.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line if you do go for that. Maybe they just want to go for some pistol upgrades. So Nafany's into a P250. Inters could drop a Deagle or something. Looks like he's holding on to extra cash, maybe just in case they lose the AWP. Because that's one of the problems here. When you don't fully invest behind a saved AWP and then you end up losing it in the next round anyway, it's like, well, it hurts twice.
Well, and he's also, I would imagine, a crucial component of the Gambit CT setups and playbook. We're seeing a little bit of aggression out of Shiro's AWP. And they're there. Both of them there, and he gets away with it. Gets away with murder, puts a weapon on the floor as well.
He needs to just keep pivoting right now. Just keep moving Shiro around. Have that AWP be absolutely everywhere. Go back to A, take a peek, go back to B. Just keep being fluid, swing everywhere you can.
Losing Olaf early. They don't know what they're up against necessarily. You've already discussed the potentials for a force buy. FaZe don't know. It is just those saved rifles.
Carrigan's reading this one well. He's actually calling the team back towards the B site. And there's not a single rifle on B right now. Inters and Shiro are both currently over towards A. They got the heads up. They're making a read too. You don't know what's going on here, but something's being said.
Okay, Shiro will be there on time. Util to be dropped by Carrigan. They have to clear the corners, and the P250, if you can get anything out of this, Nafany, Rain does check. Finds them both. Shiro's there, low HP though, so this first bullet is everything and it's all Rain. Make it 4. Knocks them all down. And Carrigan collects as well. FaZe recover from the early man at disadvantage.
The fact that they just stroll on in there, right? That looked way too easy. I know it was just the pistols there they had to get past. But Shiro, once he jumped off of Heaven, he was fully committed to that fight. And the fact his team didn't put up any resistance meant that the trump card of the AWP being there, it wasn't a surprise anymore. It wasn't them running in a little bit more strung out. It was just Rain marauding into this B bomb site, destroying heads.
It's like Rain looked left and was like, they'd be swinging by now. You know, it's just like, there's not enough. Great finds, and 4 from Rain as well, just to lock it down.
This is very worrying for Gambit right now. This is very, very worrying. This will be their last gun round. It's going to be forced next round. They need to pull it across the line now. The pressure's going to get to them in OT.
Oh, it certainly could. Just the whole cruel reality of potentially not even making the semis or the grand finals that their name has just been thrust into without a second thought. And already looking a bit bare bones. Bit light on the util department. Carrigan will use every second he can. Hobbit with a loud thudding foot. And Twist lining up early util? No contest on toilets. They're almost operating under the assumption that there's no Axile Shiro funny business. Perhaps a safe assumption to make considering the ramifications of this round.
Yeah, well, they're selling a fake on A right now. There's no indication the bomb wants to go there at all, and that's already drawn Nafany. Like, he's immediately pivoting just off some light util. It's on Hobbit and Inters again.
Oh, the hook is in his cheek. He did bite down. On his way back now, Carrigan the first to fall. That's big. Inters forced out of the fight. FaZe, but they still want to force the issue here. Nafany's back. 40 seconds. They'd have to change their mind quickly now, and That's the swing they were waiting for. Brokey, an uncharacteristic miss, but Hobbit's down. Inta's holding the line. 1.5. 3v3 and 30 seconds. Gambit's hopes and dreams could hinge on this one, or OT. We'll see if there's any love. Nafany. Can't deny that plant now. Not at all. For risk of any ramifications, it's Brokey that's posted up on the line. Should be Brokey's frag all day of the week. Another miss. Pressure getting to everyone, it seems. Not Rain. The Vikings stand strong, and Shiro...
Regular program, he has to save. He has to save. It's 2,900 as the loss bonus in the next round. There's no money. There's just absolutely no money here for Gambit. The fact FaZe are back in this. This is late within these halves, time and time again. They just claw themselves in. They just did it in the first half. They're doing it here in the second. And Gambit right now, they're going to be scrambling here.
What are they going to have? So 0 in the bank account of Axile. 2,900.
Inters will have the most, right? Inters is going to have the most. He can maybe pick up an M4 with Kevlar, but he often needs that utility, right? The fact that they've been getting away with this. You saw the fake that they threw. There's no conviction behind that. But one of the issues here is with this setup that Gambit run on the A side, Shiro and Axel go forward initially to throw out some light util, but then they drop back passive. So what Karrigan's exploiting right now is how quick Gambit are in the rotations, right? It was 2 players left on an island, and Hobbit even got that first kill. It just wasn't enough. And here it is. Look how scrappy. 2 Famises, 2 MP9s, that AWP in play. This is it, or we're going to OT.
And making Gambit sweat on their map pick to this extent, never mind on Ancient. FaZe every step of the way here at IEM Cologne. Underestimated.
It's a huge change-up. They're just going fast, long. 3 of them. Very, very quick. 1:30. They're just running long.
And there's no sound cues when you're positioned as you are.
This is a huge call from Karrigan. Shiro's not looking.
He's not even considered.
They're going to get surprised.
They're grouped up. This is ballsy Karrigan playing.
When he swings in, they're going to be...
Wait. Hobbit, was he rotating out? They still have no sound cues. They're both doubled up on toilets.
Hobbit's trying to smoke
Monster. He's looking the wrong way. Oh, Hobbit's screaming at his teammates. They're out. They're out long. Util dropped. This is smart from FaZe. Karrigan calling up a storm. Shiro desperate to voice his concerns, desperate to contest. And the frag found, it's Axel first. Close quarters, AWPing, another chance, this time Twist denies. Multiple targets, changing the battleground completely. Nafany still making the MP9 work, and this is a chance.
Oh,
he goes for the no-scope, Brokey's better. 3 on 2, and it's only MP9s. It reeks of overtime, it stinks of overtime. Olof's head, visible for just a moment, tries to find it with the MP9, he can't. Enters potent on B, but a retake for 3 is just too tall of an order. He'll give it everything he's got. FaZe, what a mix-up of pace. Leaving Gambit dumbfounded and securing another chance. Great little burst out of the MP9, but it's not enough. And he does go down. FaZe extend play. We're off to overtime, folks. Gambit bleed, and FaZe continue to impress. Karrigan, brain swelling. Let's see what happens. Will the pressure get to Gambit in OT?
DT. Ivy comes up. I have first contact. Right.
Your channel will
Oh, fucking insane, guys.
Nice.
You're playing fucking fit.
Oh boy, yeah, you saw it, you heard it. FaZe Clan have taken Gambit to OT on their map pick, and now Gambit face and stare down the barrel of elimination on LAN. Elimination in the playoffs of a tournament many expected to see them on the very grand final stage. The international roster that can, on LAN, it's FaZe Clan. Let's get into it. Machine and Sponge here to bring you the action. Starting on the CT side, and already certainly shaken as they feel vulnerable for the first time in some time.
Well, they got their weapons out at least, so it's a full buy here. 16k MR3 in play, and Shiro posted up towards long right now with Axel. Right now, Gambit are chasing their tail. They'd love an opening kill here, and, well, picked on off. Axel immediately goes on down. No response there from Shiro, and the 4v5 advantage. They accelerate towards A.
Mission accomplished. Axel down, opening frag found. Charging, stampeding towards Shiro's position. He's looking panicked. Good cover Nafany provides. Flames will force the fight. He peeks through them. This is nerdy. This is brilliant. At least to find an equalizing 3v3.
They're pivoting back again. They're just keeping Gambit moving right now. Karrigan's about to walk into B.
No one's there. Hobbit, we'll have a look.
Knife out!
Knife out still gets the frag. Oh, Hobbit may have just saved their chances of this first round here. Repositions nicely. Just that headshot angle to force the fight they're hunting for him, and he's just
genius.
Not anymore. Brokey knocks him off his perch. And the bomb can be planted.
Oh,
Brokey! For
Brokey!
Shiro, and now it's all FaZe. Inter's looking the wrong way. Trying to adjust, tags him up. It's not a guarantee by any stretch. Smoke to isolate the duel. He's got a chance here. Inter's
Huge.
eliminated.
That's Brokey with the ace right there. Overtime kicks off and Brokey steps up. That is insane. That is an insane round from Brokey. That AWP, we've been seeing no impact from it. And here in overtime, he's had enough.
He has, and he shut down Gambit immediately out of the gate. We'll see that again from his perspective. He's run boost out, cancels it short, knocks down Axel. The rest fall to him. Look at this. Nafany is second. The rest will occur over on this B site.
Oh, he just catches the head. That is huge. That right there is nuts.
And Hobbit had done everything right. He just didn't account for that angle. Brokey gets them both. Finishes it off with some flourish. An ace in the first round of OT against the world #1. Not bad from the Latvian. Not bad at all.
Oh, Hobbit's pinned as well here.
He can't go down. We know how that translated in regulation. The whole FaZe Clan squad is here. No posturing, no funny business. He just wants to commit. Karrigan wants to get in their heads, wants to get under their skin. Olof clears his corners, confirms it's not a monster side play. They haven't cleared barrels, hiding now, staring at the floorboards, quaking in their boots. It's Nafany though. At least one kept even. Olof for two, in fact, as their bodies start to drop. Their bodies are dropping. No, Gambit have got nothing to say about this B take. Picking up the pace and adding on the pressure.
Shiro now, look, we know it's MR3 16k, but is he even going to look in for this? That AWP, not going to matter. Twist takes his head off, and right now this is completely shifted. This is completely changed. Karrigan is calling circles around Gambit right now. That late round, that last round, that pace change. They were grinding, they were just grinding with the default, and now he can do whatever he wants. Nafany has no idea what FaZe are going to throw at them. They can explode, they can take it slow. Right now, FaZe can call whatever they want. Gambit either have to take the fight to them or they have to sit back and receive. And receiving right now is all they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Olof said, you know, people don't play with the same big balls as they do online, but it looks like FaZe are. They're demonstrating exactly what they are capable of here in the LAN environment. Another change-up of pace and position. They got 4 Gambit members over B. After such a fast and punishing push early, they send 4 there. Dispatched early. Axel was the first to die last time, and he is isolated at this point in time. Pulls the plug at the right moment.
Look at the timing, though. Axel's still scavenging back towards side. Axel's throwing flashes over towards long. Like, they have no idea. Gambit have no idea what's coming, and they desperately need a CT round.
Almost going to be flustered here. It's not every day they're put in a position like this, just individually, on a one-to-one human basis, and then Util's starting to fly over. Axel stands his ground. Worth his salt. More required, doesn't deliver. It's Twist that keeps it competitive for FaZe.
Shiro's locked out by smoke.
They could have a flawless T start here in the MR3.
Second wave of utility as well, held at bay. What are they meant to do?
Just respect it. Hobbit has got an opportunity, and he does strike successfully. Olof's through though, slipping the net. Nice crossfire. Shiro utilized well, and the wallbang from Hobbit is almost impossible for Brokey to work with, and that will finish off nicely. Great work from Hobbit, comes alive under the pressure. 17 to 16, 2-1 split. But this is FaZe's CT domain. And 27 for Shiro, 27 for Axel. It's not like Gambit haven't been online.
No, they're just the way that some of these rounds have been playing out, right? Just the way that some of these moments and the calls from FaZe. You notice with FaZe that after they get the openings, they're expecting the over-rotation from Gambit, and we've identified it as a pressure point. It's been a pressure point for Gambit so far in their CT sides in this tournament, and Karrigan is just keeping them guessing. But we're getting this back underway here. Gambit have a real opportunity right now. Pick up this T round. Himself off on a good foot. This would be some, I want to say, return of serve from Gambit if they're able to get back in this.
Yeah, just remind FaZe what you're capable of. You control the pace of this round. And FaZe have used that to great success. Let's see what happens when the shoe is on the other foot.
There's been a couple of woes for Gambit on their T side. They started to just limp on in towards the tail end of the first half one at a time and just getting picked apart. That's heads-up Counter-Strike that FaZe were ready for. They need to group up here, Gambit, and trade. You know, that's one of the best things with a team like this, fundamentally very sound. But if they're not grouped up, if they're not paired up, there's no ability to trade, and Nafany's testing his luck on his lonesome here.
So brave.
Oh, this is... Look, he's found a lot of space. This is very risky. Clock now sub 1 minute.
He's in that little blind spot. Brokey won't be able to spot him out if he continues to peek as he is. He does have the molly for the banana side of toilets, and they are gathered up now. Good timing on the incendiary, just as they wanted to advance. He propels Nafany forward, forced out by the flame himself, and Rain versus Inters. Oof, narrowly loses the head-to-head. Gambit sees the advantage and the sight. Brokey locked into bank. No util to force his gaze away from the angle, but cannot contest the plant. Bomb down and ticking. Bodies now in the feed. It's Nafany to serve up Karrigan. Looking at the util, it's going to be the flash off Olof. 3 of them postured to contest.
Stalling out, it feels. Are they going to go for this? May as well.
That's the util dump. Anyone behind it? Seemed to be the case. Just trying to catch him now. They swing in. It's all too easy for Gambit. They will make it 17. They do tie it up nicely.
If they bring this back, they've done this the hard way. To take us to the third of Inferno that's waiting in the wings, to consider that they were in the driver's seat here in both maps. You have to consider Ancient, the way that started, an 11-1 scoreline at one point, and then here in Overpass, they were up 7-2 on their T half and only managed to walk away with 8 rounds total. FaZe have put up one hell of a fight here, and I don't think the momentum is with Gambit anymore. FaZe are the ones now who have taken control of the driver's seat. 17-17, we're all tied up. What are Gambit going to dish up now?
They call him the Iceman, Axel. I mean, now is a perfect opportunity for us to see that in action. Pressure doesn't get higher. Let's see if the ice in his veins is staying present. Brokey, responsible for a whole lot here, and Nafany has at least slipped the net.
Is he going through it?
Oh, I feel like he is. You know Nafany.
So much conviction here.
You know what he's up to. Straight through the smoke, and he's found Brokey. A huge opener delivered pure through initiative and balls.
That's a massive kill.
Straight through the smoke, dude. That's a response, though. Axel's had his toes tickled to lethality. And Karrigan can rotate in, keep the numbers game played.
Well, this is great now for FaZe. They can do this 2-2 split. Twist and Olaf on B. Rain and Karrigan on A. And they're crawling towards A here. It will be the A finish.
Karrigan's throwing out a monster smoke. They're not expecting this. Molly will force Rain's hand. He has to fight. Stand not going to deliver. It's Shiro that hits the shot. Posted up. And now to punish only Karrigan. Molly's land. He's got nothing to say or do about it. Gambit have recovered. And will reach 18 first. Olofmeister staring at flames so far locked out of the sight. Twist has found an alternate route. Concerned of all the pushed up players, but Gambit playing a tight game here. Tucked in for the post plan. Made right on the Shiro's nose. They are low, and Twist perhaps has more to say. It would only be Twist. Makes it 2. Needs more. 12 bullets, a smoke and a kit. Certainly quite the package deal. Inters, a bit ahead of it. Oh, and Twist nearly finding the dink as well.
Jesus.
There's a world, an alternate reality where Twist has just blown Gambit out into the 18th.
A great response there from FaZe, right, to level that up after Nafany's gone for a crazy maneuver. They went for one of their own, and they claw it back, and they keep it competitive right there. But you could see Gambit, they didn't get flustered as taking that site. Once they knew Rain was behind the site box, they molly. This is huge. Like, what a risk from Nafany. The fact that he's doing that in overtime.
17-17 when you're facing elimination on LAN.
He's not backing down. He is not backing down at all right now.
People don't make ballsy plays on LAN. What are you talking about, Olof? Nafany, clearly cut from the same cloth as you.
Well, this is it. Gambit can do it here. They can convert right now. If we 18-18, we go again.
Look how thorough they're being. Axel just flashed before he had a look at the already smoked off monster pipe.
I feel like Gambit, like the longer this goes on, the more the conversations start being about the war of attrition falling in the favor of FaZe. They've been here many times before. Sure, Gambit have played a lot of Counter-Strike in recent history, but once again, remember the context. Remember where we are.
Brokey and Rain responsible for this side of the map.
Don't know how much success Gambit have had just walking back in through Monster late. It feels like they've been shut down a lot of their times here. Nafany's parked up towards Party. Rain doing the same towards Divider. Carrigan in swing right now. Feels like he's reading a bit of an A play. So pressure on Twist and Olof now as another Monster Smoke lands. Denied for another 20 seconds here, Axel.
That should buy enough time for potential third man to back them up.
Twist has another smoke. This is horrible right now for Gambit.
30 seconds. Gambit, just 5 frags is all they need, and there's one of them. Oh, a lot of damage.
Bomb's going back to A.
They converted off the back of it. If they pivot back to A, that's all on Brokey's AWP. And 20 seconds. He should have something to play with. The Shadow's too easy. Plucks Nafany out of the server. It could be another. Inters has gotten across with the bomb.
Help.
He needs the frag. 9 seconds. They can deny this. Shiro has to hit this shot, otherwise the bomb will not be planted. He doesn't, and there we go. FaZe take us to another. They will not relent, and as you discussed, extending this play is only going to exacerbate things in the nerve department. Gambit FaZe, OT2 after this break.
We're still here. It's all right.
What?
After two. So we're getting excited here. After double OT, we'll go to another break if we need to, but we get back underway immediately. Let's see, how many more can Gambit string together here? Rain's pushed up. This is a different look. This is some aggressive CT maneuvers coming out now. Oh, Inters. Did he catch him on the jiggle? Lots of talking there. He saw him.
Flash is high, then straight in. Look at this, Gambit is already into the B site, and Olof has to react. He's not used to this, but Twist, he was nearly ready for 2. Damage into Axel. Brokey pushed up as well. He spotted out Rain, but he seems ready for a second as well. Brokey walks straight into Inters, and with just 2 remaining, Gambit immediately return fire with force.
They have an idea that Olof's here. Yeah, they're not committing to the site right now.
He just cut noise, but it does mean Olof can stretch his legs, have a little look around. He might even start rotating if they do make another peep.
He doesn't see anything at all. So, no information over towards B. The question is, do Gambit just head in towards that B site, or do they pivot back?
And how long does it take? Because if Olof goes round the world, I mean, he's going to have a serious element of surprise. 35 seconds. The decision-making from Olof is at least towards the right site.
Well, they're going to get this bomb down and start to establish a post-plant situation here, but the question is, where is Olof? Now, he may as well go for this. He may as well give it a crack. Shiro's about to get the early warning signal. And that'll be it. The AWP bullet lands. Gambit, they strike. So 19 now, keeping themselves in this. Oof. That was a different look from FaZe right there. The aggressive maneuver out of Rain. They've mixed things up. The strap ball goes out the window a bit here, and you start to see a bit more flux within the play. But this was great from Inters again. 2 tidy kills. We're looking at first to 22 here within the double OT. Back to business as usual here, so no aggressive maneuver this time. Happy to sit on back.
Your standard spread. You guys know the script by now. Axel holding and housing the monster push. Hobbit gets to choose between party and underpass. The latter in this case. He's holding that Guardian pixel gap. 3 up long, making no secret about it. Brokey will certainly convey that information. Rain confirms they haven't crossed that line in the sand. His jump peaks I've drawn. But full control of toilets and clearing it out thoroughly. It's just Brokey here. Want to peek back in off that.
I just don't know why Gambit keep heading back towards this B site when we know Monster is going to be continuously smoked, right? There's still 2 left over. You got 1 for Olaf and 1 for Twist, and these guys have been holding onto these smokes consistently. So if you plan on going through here, you will be gray screened. Right? You need to use some perfect utility to try and clear out these close angles, and nobody's really doing that because it's so difficult. So another smoke lands, 35 seconds on the clock, another smoke can still be deployed. That's not going to leave them any time at all.
They went for, oh, they spot him on the boost, and takes his time. Nafany executes. Problems now for Olaf, cycling through his nades. They don't want to go through grey screen though, and it buys him just enough time to drop the incendiary. Carrigan keeps him at bay on short. Axel surely burns from the grave. Olaf strikes. That's big from Hobbit. Carrigan with it all to do, can't quite manage a second. But Rain, perhaps he can. Knocks the head off of one, 1v1. And bides his time, expecting Shiro to take the peak, but Shiro sharp as ever. 2 to the good from Gambit and the break of our second OT.
That boost, if they don't get the kill from the boost, I don't think they're getting in, right? That right there is the difference maker. That boost alone, I think, was the door. Sure, the trades had to be great, but that gave them the number advantage and took the pressure off. That was huge. If they keep this flawless here...
I mean, yeah, you're right. Twists and Olaf, if they still standing at the 20-second mark, it's just over. Nafany finds a highly impactful opening kill.
Salt in the wounds here. It's going to be a mix-up this time. Sewer push.
Ooh, I love this. Ahead of the util. Straight away confirming nobody's present.
Noisy about it too. Not making any secret of it. And they immediately slink back. So the information... Oh, the barrel spotted.
Oh, Carrigan. Walking a fine line, but he does take down Nafany. The battle of the opening kill in-game leaders.
Inters isn't looking and Rain's still pushing. Oh, Inters!
Okay.
That's one way to level things up. He wasn't ready for that.
Not at all, and now a chance, Hobbit. What? They're still on the boost? Spotted out. They live to tell the tale. Nades exchanged, and Hobbit trying to keep attention drawn over towards the short side. They might try and boost, but it's Brokey's AWP. Spots out 2, and the bomb. Oh, so much info. Brokey's a bit flustered.
Oh, Brokey!
Lands, and that's the end of that. Shiro, 1 versus 4. A Tech 9 and an AWP to ply his trade, and where is he supposed to go? Where is he supposed to go? Full util on his belt. And he can play the time.
It's so hard to clear Olaf and Twist right now. Like, one, sure, but both. No way in the world. That's going to be FaZe getting himself 1 CT side of rounds here. Gambit, they put themselves in a great position to close this out, but we could have just said the same thing with the first OT. They will use their final timeout before they get their CT half underway. And Brokey, he basically went into Rain's grave, right? Because Rain pushed all the way up long. It's very unlikely you're going to be expecting a second player to be in the upper side of the bathrooms like that. So great heads-up Counter-Strike there from the likes of Brokey. I'm trying to think where the weaknesses were for this Gambit CT side, right? It was Carrigan calling circles around them, right? Doing these fakes onto sites, getting some entries, dropping back, dealing with the over-rotation, isolating kills on the other side, and then even pivoting back again. So FaZe have no dramas playing some of this fakey boy Counter-Strike.
Yeah, well, the T side was convincing.
All right, there is where we've been speaking about the problems for FaZe is the T half, so now they're going to have to do it the hard way.
Yeah, the second weakest T side in the entirety of the event. 39% T win percentage. Time to buck that trend and forge a new one.
They need all 3 here on this T half. 22 again, I'll remind you, the magic number. FaZe will need to get every single one of these T-sided rounds to secure this one. Gambit just need 1 to get triple OT in the bag.
They might go for an early boost, at least posturing for it. Potential run boost as well in the mix. So Rain and Olaf working on that. And here comes Brokey and Twists. Working on Shiro, he's willing to peek in. Brokey brave. Forced him off the line.
If they keep playing passive like this, Gambit can be faked out again. So you might see Shiro and Axel start to push forward, start to take a bit more space. That might walk them into Twist and Carrigan, who right now are dealing with any A presence. Utility on towards B. They're being stoic right now. Nafany is still staying over towards this A site.
His nerve as best he can, starting to float. Back to B. At that 35-second mark as the can of flame is deposited Monster. And look at Twist, he wants to clear out Shiro, and it's just an easy collection. He'll take that. Carrigan to respond. Inter's looking the wrong way, enables it. 4v4. The flashes are out. Hobbit, sound cue heard, and Olof will strike. Running out of players now. Nafany running out of options. He's gone down, and now 20 looms. The bomb needs to be planted. Shiro would need to some magic wall bang. It's just not going to happen. It falls apart just like that.
Oh, we're tied up again, 20-20 right now, and FaZe are doing such a great job of making sure Gambit can't gamble, right? They can't gamble on these sites. It's impossible to do because they don't know what's on the other side. And now we get to the point where they have no timeouts left, so if they've wanted to discuss an aggressive move, it's just going to be freeze time alone.
Ooh.
I think it might have to be, right? Because Gambit are working with no map control. They're just standing and receiving. They have no map control on their CT side.
And no timeouts. If this keeps going, they're just never going to get to catch their breath.
Reminder, FaZe haven't used a single timeout.
Yeah. Ouch. That will leave a mark. Axel long gone. But the nade has done significant damage. Claymore takes down Twists and Carrigan to 30 and 50 respectively. So the bomb's leaning Monster side this time. I imagine contact to be taken elsewhere first of all. Oh, just as it fades, they flash. Carrigan keeps them honest though.
Yeah, very good trade there from Carrigan. And now again, these 4v4s is where FaZe seem to do better. They've strung them out again. Nafany has to rotate and into this B bomb site, which is starting to bleed.
They're even starting to fall out of the site. Now the util arrives, they're on the passive stance, and on the ramp they'll try and trifle with them. Double nades, that's kind of cool. Doesn't find its mark. Molly to stop the ramp swing. Rain caught out. Big frag from Hobbit.
Bomb's called.
They know to rotate. Chance from Carrigan, doesn't expect the second. Hobbit still a nuisance. Yet to knock him off the site. Elevated position, puts Brokey on his bottom, and now 21 is reached by Gambit first.
They find themselves here again. Gambit have been here more often than not, it feels like. They've just been there. They can see the finish line.
Yeah.
They can almost touch it. But FaZe won't let them. FaZe won't let them grab it.
See if they can keep pulling it out of the hat. Bit of a Hail Mary out of Brokey at the end there. This is starting to be an endurance battle on overpass. You can see it's getting to them so close. Like you said, within touching distance to the third map.
Carrigan just faked the extinguish. He's fallen straight back. It looks like they're going to gear up for a B hit pretty early here. And if they do it soon, they can still isolate 3 players on the side. The rotation of Axel and Shiro is miles away. That triple nade, I feel like it almost gives the jig up right there. You know how many players are going to be playing outside that monster position. Will they call the bluff?
Util deployed, and Hobbit even trades. They're coming in thick and fast. Another body drop though, and now just 3 versus 4. Gambit 3 frags away from securing their map pick. A long, arduous task. And up against a true test on LAN. Blinded, Carrigan chooses not to pull the trigger. Could have been the death of him. They're boosting for info.
Oh, this is problems. They're all passive. They're all backing off. They're giving up the site. They think it's A.
Yeah, they flubbed the flash, but they are completely rotating out of the site. There's no one home. What's going on? They'll have to boost instead. And it should enable a free frag. That's Carrigan going down. Nafany has his wings clipped. He lives on. 2 players, just Twists and Brokey, looking to extend play. And it's Shiro tagged up. A deep flash. Brokey's knows that they're close. Would love to get the bomb down. He's faffing with it. Brokey would have to come up clutch. Asking so much of him. He's already had 1 ace in overtime. Can he really ask another? 1v4. Fakes it out, looking to draw fire. No chance now as it's Shiro to secure it. Gambit weather the storm. What a test from FaZe. Pushing Gambit to their limits. You can see expressions wiped off their face clean. But it will all be determined on an iconic map. We'll see you on Inferno.